Another episode of Under the Bridge, you say? What a foul suggestion.
Yes, it is disgusting.
That's a little in-joke. You'll get that one later.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Under the Bridge, everybody.
Hi.
That was a pause.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't think of anything better than that.
Well, I'm Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And I am Greg, aka Greg.
Indeed. And we have a double feature of movies to talk about, or at least I do. Greg only saw one, but we'll get to that in time.
Oh, yes.
In time. First, comic news.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Layla Al-Fawley, seen in Moon Knight, the Disney Plus series, is making her comics debut in July in Moon Knight number 25. This is, I believe, since she will be debuting not just as herself, but also as the Scarlet Scarab, the first time that a superhero exclusive to the MCU has made the jump over to comics.
Okay, I was thinking about it because I realized you said specifically superhero originating from the MCU. Oh yeah, that's correct. Part of me is surprised that it took that long.
Well, to be fair, they haven't made an awful lot of actually original characters. At least superhero-wise. Most of them are, I mean, there's Coulson, you know.
Oh yeah.
Coulson was, I think, the first one to make the jump.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not really a superhero so much as he's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Right.
Doesn't even have a cool code name either.
Yeah, just Phil, son of Cole.
You know what? You're right. That's me told. Okay, yep, son of Cole. Son of Cole has a sick code name. Never mind. Yeah, there have been a couple of Scarlet Scarabs in the comics before, but she's probably going to end up being the more high-profile one by virtue of, you know, being from the MCU.
Right.
And therefore probably also getting more of a marketing push because synergy!
Because metrics.
Yeah, we gotta make it like the movies, so everybody who isn't reading comics still won't read comics.
Is this going to be the same character integrated into the comics, or...?
No, it's gonna be an adaptation.
Okay, because I was going to say, it's like, okay, are we getting into the making the audience do the extra homework part now?
No, the extra homework is reading comics. That's the homework of comics, reading comics.
Oh boy. That sounds lethargic, says the person who reads manga a lot.
It is a wretched existence, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
For more examples of why, just look at my poorly explained comic series.
Da-da-da-da!
Wink, wink. But no, she was good in Moon Knight, so I'm excited to see this.
Oh boy.
And plus, it's being done by Jed MacKay, the guy who's been writing the latest run of Moon Knight, and he is phenomenal. He's on fire with it.
Oh boy.
No, at one point, he crashes basically like a meeting of vampires. And... because one of them is running like basically a vampire infiltrating pyramid scheme, where...
What?
You turn someone into a vampire and then force them to turn people into vampires. I don't know how it was supposed to make money or success or any of that, but he was touting it like the next big thing. So he invites a bunch of vampire delegates from other nations to see what he's doing.
Okay.
Moon Knight proceeds to crash the place, sets off the sprinklers, and then points out he's basically an ordained priest of Khonshu, and therefore he consecrates all the sprinkler water, and now it's holy water.
Does that work?
It worked! It worked!
So he just killed a room of the world's most powerful vampires?
Something like that.
That is ridiculous.
And then one of them was a human lackey and got to live, and he goes, you know what, I'm glad, because now you can send a message back to Dracula, don't mess with New York!
That's pretty great.
Yeah, fun reminder, Dracula is the sovereign ruler of the recognized vampire nation of Chernobyl in Marvel Comics.
Of Chernobyl.
Chernobyl, yes.
Okay.
This is why I love keeping up on this stuff, because I get to say sentences like that. But no,
okay.
This ought to be a good time.
Alrighty.
He's also writing the new Avengers lineup. So that ought to be fun. It's a decently vanilla lineup, but hey, you know what? He can do whatever he wants with it. He's got my trust. Plus Scarlet Witch is back, which, okay, you know what? I hate Wanda in the MCU, But Wanda in the comics isn't really any more heinous of a person than any other superhero, so...
Okay. Again, I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. The Marvel Universe is full of awful people. Spider-Man sold his marriage to Satan to save his elderly aunt, who was telling him to let her go. You know, Tony did the whole Civil War thing.
Right.
Carol killed him once.
Carol killed him once?
Yeah, during Civil War II.
God almighty.
Wanda, you know, basically committed a genocide on accident? I mean, she depowered all but 198 mutants, rendering their species almost extinct and making it so no new mutants were being born for a while. But she put it back later, I think she did it. It might have been her and Hope.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people died as a result of that, but...
But who's counting?
Point is, Wanda's not really any worse in the comics than anyone else.
Okay, so that's probably a good thing, just because it's like, if she's worse in the comics than she is in the books, then you kind of have to go, what the fuck, man?
At least she's not Namor. I'm gonna move on now.
Okay.
We got a little baby bit of news from Shigeru Miyamoto.
Okay.
Through the Japanese outlet Nikkei, I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm bad with Japanese. They were talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Okay.
And per this translation, Miyamoto teased, Nintendo is like a talent agency. We have plenty of other entertainers.
I don't like the sound of that.
I do, because that sounds like more than Mario, potentially.
I mean... You know what I will say? I am surprised there hasn't been a Zelda movie yet.
Well, there was supposed to be a Netflix series, and then someone at Netflix leaked it, and Nintendo freaked out and said, No! Not happening!
No! I don't want that!
No, I'd love a Zelda. Oh god, I just realized, you know what probably would fit in a movie perfectly? Because it's very bare-bones plot, but you could just base one off a tournament. Arms.
What's Arms?
The punching game where everybody got the stretchy arms.
I've never heard of this.
You've never heard? It was like a launch thing for the Switch.
Well, I don't own a Switch.
Well, yeah, but Min Min's in Smash, and she's a degenerate character.
Oh, that's where she comes from.
Yeah, she's from Arms.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Huh. Come to think of it, there's an official tier list now. Where is she on the tier list?
I mean, I remember when you were using her when she first came out, it's like, oh god, she's annoying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, partly that's because I'm annoying, but... 16th. S- tier. Okay. Yeah, she's a goddamn problem.
At 16th out of what, 70?
82, I think?
Jesus.
Well, to be fair, Pyra and Mithra are one character. I think Pokemon Trainer is counted as one character. So it might be closer to, like, 80.
God almighty.
I say like that makes it any better.
No, it does not. It really does not.
No, you know what? Make a, like, retrocade cinematic universe of Nintendo stuff. Do Balloon Fight, do Duck Hunt.
I wonder what would have to happen for there to be a Smash Brothers movie.
I feel like they might try, but they'll probably fail. It's not helped by the fact that a lot of the people you would want to see crossover who already have movies are being done by different studios.
Really?
Well, yeah, because Mario is being done by Illumination, who is with Universal. Warner Brothers had Detective Pikachu. I don't know if they still have it. Well, actually, Legendary had it, but they're still a separate studio, and Warner Brothers distributed it, rather. Sonic's with Paramount. Not that he's Nintendo, but if there's a Sonic movie franchise happening and Smash Brothers happens, you know people are gonna want Sonic.
True.
I don't remember who's making the Minecraft movie.
I forgot a Minecraft movie was being made.
Starring Jason Momoa, somehow.
There hasn't been news on that in like a year.
I think there was some not that long ago, and I specifically ignored it because I didn't want to remember that the Minecraft movie was coming out. But I don't remember. Because I made myself forget, I think.
Right.
I feel like... Yeah, if you guys aren't going to do anything with F-Zero game-wise, can you at least make a movie?
I don't even own a Nintendo system or play any, or have access to the old F-Zero games, and even I'm upset about that.
Right? And just imagine, you could make a movie that actually focuses on Captain Falcon being a bounty hunter, while also racing. Because that's his whole shtick, he's a bounty hunter.
Right.
Not that you ever see it. Ugh. Anyways, I guess that means we could probably expect some more stuff from Nintendo, movie-wise, which, neat.
Okay.
So, you like Spider-Man movies?
Yes.
Well, good news. A few of them are already on Disney+, and a couple more are coming in May.
Oh, I feel like there's a joke somewhere in there.
Well, there is, but I'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, as of April 21st, you can now stream Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, and The Amazing Spider-Man 1, all on Disney Plus in the US. Some places already had them.
Oh.
We had to wait.
So, I was gonna say, so this isn't really news. This is just, hey, surprise, we're actually including you now.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then May 12th, we are getting Spider-Man Homecoming, and of course, that latest and greatest of Spider-Man movies. I shouldn't say latest, because it's several years old by now. You know it, you love it, it's a great one, Venom. I'm gonna guess you clipped the mic, because I heard nothing, and then just laughing.
Yes.
Great, I'm glad my punchline landed.
I was just saying, Far From Home is only like a year and a half, 2 years old. It's Venom. I was like, okay.
No Way Home is only a
Yeah.
year and a half old. Far From Home is still several years old and could have been it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's Venom.
Oh, that's really funny.
Oh man,
Why Venom of all things? This has come from someone who likes Venom. Why Venom of all things?
Presumably because Sony doesn't really have a streaming platform for their stuff, and Disney was like, "Fine, we'll include it."
Oh God Almighty!
Can we put it in the MCU sec? No.
No. Get that out of here.
What about Morbius? Absolutely not.
Mm.
You will have to pay us for Morbius.
Dear God. It's like, you know what? I don't think we need Morbius that hard.
We will put Morbius on Disney Plus, but you will have to give us back the Spider-Man rights. You have done irreparable damage to the brand.
Right.
And for that, you must be punished. So no, this is good. I mean, I already have all 3 on disc, but I'm pretty sure I have the first 3 on DVD rather than Blu-ray, so... This will presumably be a little nicer, a little crisper.
I mean, ideally, I would hope that, because I imagine movies have been re-released on Blu-ray. It would be a shame if they were just left to their original image quality.
Oh no, they have. Like, I'm pretty sure they've absolutely been released on Blu-ray. It's just a matter of I need to replace them yet, and I haven't, because there's so many other movies I still need to get.
Right.
Oh yeah, he's on Blu-ray. Yeah. So, speaking of... I shouldn't say dumb Disney ideas, because we still don't know what happened.
Right.
Disney and Victoria Alonso have reached a settlement after they fired her last month.
Really?
We don't know anything else.
Okay.
Well, okay. We barely know anything else. Per Deadline, there was a multi-million-dollar financial compensation.
Alright.
But that's it.
That is... The mystery still stays mysterious, I guess.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I was really looking forward to finding out what the hell happened. But most likely, now that that's open and done and shut, we're never going to hear anything about this again.
Right.
Because I'd imagine part of the deal is probably Disney saying, you can't shit-talk us.
Well, not with that attitude.
And then Disney's not going to say anything. Because they don't like to remind people that they make mistakes. Case in point, they buried Inhumans.
Yeah, true. That is very true.
Insanity. Yeah, there was that rumor that the thing that ultimately got her fired was refusing to take out the pride flags in Quantumania, which I certainly hope was not the case.
I feel like that would be hilarious and really bad press given recent events with Disney.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I have a hard time seeing that be the reason.
No, guys, you don't understand. We're not homophobic. We just had to do this so it would release in Kuwait, because we need that little bit of extra money. Quantumania is not doing too good, don't you know? Lowest grossing Ant-Man movie of the bunch. I'm gonna move on now.
Yes.
You remember Galaxy Quest?
Vaguely.
The not Star Trek movie that had Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, and Alan Rickman?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that thing.
Well, per Variety, it's getting a TV show.
Why?
I don't know. Per Variety, currently the only member of the creative team officially attached is Mark Johnson. He was a producer on the original film and would be an executive producer on this potential series. They're very early in development on it. No idea what it would be about, or if really it sounds like anybody was coming back.
As I say, like, has there been any word about Tim Allen coming back?
No idea. Originally in 2015, Amazon was working on a series version, but that stopped when Alan Rickman died. Which begs the question, assuming you do get the cast back, what are you gonna do with Alan Rickman's character?
Yeah.
I don't know, this feels like a really...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't know. Is it because all the Star Trek adaptations are really popping off?
This one seems less necessary.
Yeah.
To say the least. I know that, like, it seems like every week we have a discussion about a movie adaptation being made and we go, this is unnecessary.
Because nothing is necessary.
But this one feels like the least necessary, like, rehash out of all possible options.
Yeah. Who knows, though? Maybe it's the reboot, or maybe it's a animated continuation. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who even knows? Could be a remake in TV show form for Paramount Plus.
No, for Plus.
What?
Oh, Paramount Plus. Never mind.
No, that would be fun. Imagine if literally everybody else followed HBO Max's lead and was like, we're dropping the thing that distinguishes us from everybody else. Paramount Plus and Disney Plus get into a massive war over who gets to own the name Plus.
I mean, they could just have the initials, or like the first letter, so it's like D plus and P plus.
Netflix just changes to X.
X plus.
Hulu is just ooh.
Ooh.
I don't even want to think about Peacock.
Oh, God. Man, I don't either, and I'm subscribed to Peacock, too.
Yeah, no, I guess we'll see if anything comes out of this. I like the original Galaxy Quest movie very much, so I'll give it a little bit of leeway depending on what they decide to do with it, but I am not particularly enthused by this news.
Right.
And hey, now it's time for something that's near and dear to your heart once upon a time.
Oh, God.
Also per Variety, Louis Leterrier, director of Fast X, is going to be staying on to direct Fast 11.
The movie isn't even out yet!
Yeah, but we already knew they were making 11.
I know, but still! It's like, can we wait for the first one to actually come out and do... I mean, granted, the movie's probably going to print money in the box office, but still.
Yeah, and I mean, this is probably them saying, yeah, we've got faith in this guy. We think Fast X is good, or at least that, you know, this guy can handle working with Vin Diesel and the rest of these prima donnas well enough that we can expect him to hang on for one more of these fucking things. We'll get into that with the trailer, but oh boy.
Oh my God, this new trailer.
Oh man. So, I guess good for him. I hope he's not getting aggressively bullied by Vin Diesel. As one does.
As one does.
Allegedly. I guess he might as well just go right into the Fast X trailer, huh?
It looks... The bit at the end looks so bad.
Which bit at the end?
The one where the tankers explode
driving down the dam, you're right. Oh my God, it's so fake.
It looks so bad.
It's so fucking fake.
I actually rewinded that part of the trailer because I'm like, there's no way that this is legit, right? Like, they didn't let it come out like this, and then it's like, it happened again. Oh my God, this is so bad looking.
Dom, your kid's going to die. In fake fire.
In fake-ass fire.
So this mostly looks awful, but I will admit, I really like Jason Momoa's character now.
Really?
When are we blowing up, boys? The Vatican? Alright, you're going to hell. Like, that's so fucking stupid, but
For for me, in a similar vein, it was the bit where everyone's got their guns pointed at the other, and I don't know what it is, but just the way he delivers his line, it's just like, sounds like the one kind of angsty nerd with a lisp.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's just like, well, what are you gonna do, Dom? What are you gonna do? It's just like, oh my god. It's like, I can't tell if he's being too serious or not taking this seriously in the slightest. Also, Tyrese going, you are not to be trusted, like he's a fucking Dungeons and Dragons character.
Yeah, and then Sean just fired back, you're not on my Christmas list either. And I thought they were cool. I thought they were all cool now or something.
I think it's less that they're cool and more they don't hate each other / they won't try to beat each other up on first meet with each other now.
I guess it helps that Han's alive. Because I assume, having not seen Fast 4, 5, 6, and 7, I assume that was the main reason they hated Shaw, yeah? He was allegedly responsible for killing Han?
Yes, or at least it was, if I remember correctly, it's a thing of like, he kills. God, I hate they did that. And I hate they pulled a fucking Tenet for that. Where it's
Mirrors!
Like, yeah, it's like, how did that happen? Don't think too much about it. Fuck you,
no,
movie!
Fuck you! Actually, how? Show me on the doll where he escaped!
Oh, God. But yeah, I haven't seen Fast and Furious 7 or 8 in forever, so I barely remember them. But
yeah, I haven't seen 8 since you convinced us to go, and I walked out partway through and then walked back in.
In fairness, I did give both of you warning.
Yeah?
And somehow the series did not lose me after that movie anyway.
It took until 9.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, because he basically, I want to say he more or less gloats about it at one point in Fast and Furious, either 7 or 8. Oh yeah, in Fast and Furious 8, and that's what kind of starts it all. And then Fast and Furious 9 happens. Like, surprise, he's still alive. Mr. Nobody helped with mirrors.
Or holograms or something, I don't fucking know.
I hate this series. I'm probably gonna go see this movie in theaters.
I'm definitely watching Fast X. You kidding me? They put a car in space. They have my undying curiosity now.
Oh, God almighty.
I've seen 6 of these fucking things at this point. I'm invested.
I'm so sorry.
Nah, it's fine.
I'm sorry for what I have done.
I'm sorry for ruining the first one.
Oh, God almighty.
Ugh. So there's some kind of bomb.
There's some kind of bomb that... You know what? That's the part of the movie that I'm most curious about. What is this bomb? Because it's like, for this bomb to do that much damage to Vatican City and not have it be a nuclear weapon, I was like, okay, what is this actually?
It's made of explodium. What do you want? So I'm guessing John Cena's gonna rescue the kid at some point and then die.
Well, probably.
But it probably will be mirrors. So he can come back for Fast 11.
Shut the fuck up!
And that's gonna lead to Dom having to rescue his own kid, which is going to lead to that stupid-ass damn scene. That damn stupid scene, if you will.
That scene. That damn scene.
Also, apparently Brie Larson is playing Nobody's daughter, or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a weird one.
I do have to admit, I do appreciate this series' ability to just pull, like, big-name actors and actresses that... Or at least they're not, like AAA, but they're still high up, but you still wouldn't expect them to be in these movies.
Yeah.
Still, even though I love her to bits, part of my brain just keeps on going, how did they pull Dame Helen Mirren for these movies?
Yeah, what the fuck is Helen Mirren doing in these? And then apparently she knows Cardi B, who knows Dawn, and it's never brought up? What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
That was offensive to me, because I genuinely thought this was something from a previous movie that I missed, and when you told me no, I was just incensed.
Yeah, no, I was just like, what the fuck is Cardi B
As
doing
if there's
here?
not enough fucking shit in these things. Just Cardi B out of nowhere, huh? Whatever. Guess Cardi B is there, thanks Joyride.
Oh, yes.
I guess we'll see, since this is out, what is it, this next month? May?
Oh, is it?
I think.
Oh, God. All
yeah,
right.
we don't have a lot of time if I'm gonna... Well, I don't have a lot of time if I'm gonna watch the, next 4.
I need to bring Fast 4 at some point.
Is it really? Yeah, May 19th. Fuck, we have less than a month.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay,
Shit.
yeah, I guess we kind of need to hightail it a little
Or
bit
we need
there.
to just watch them not during movie night.
True.
Oh, man. Seems like a week of mid-horror trailers. By which I mean we got 2.
Oh, okay.
Because we got a new trailer for the Boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, mid.
I will say, like, for that trailer, when they were doing the whole light experiment thing, I was just like, oh god, are they gonna make the psychiatrist lady the fucking boogeyman
Okay,
right now?
can I just say, that psychiatrist is the opposite of comforting?
Yeah, no, that psychiatrist is deranged.
It's just you, your sister, and me, and she's just got this
Yeah.
over-wide smile on her face. No, that is not comforting! That is the opposite of reassuring. Stop doing that!
Yeah, I thought she was possessed by the boogeyman. I thought that's where I was going to go, but even still, I was like, lady, you should be in handcuffs. You should not have your license to help children because you're just traumatizing them further.
That's the most thing that stuck out to me about the whole thing, and it's the beginning.
They show more of the boogeyman and still just kind of play up the whole, like, he's not real. Bitch, yes he is. Or at least in this movie.
At least it seems like they have this. They're definitely going to have the sister believer at least, so that's nice, because the boogeyman apparently attacks her.
That
just slams the door open.
Can I just, speaking of things that look fake as fuck, I mean, yeah, I know it's like you can't make it look perfect considering what it is, but it is just thinking like, I'm serious, leave me alone, just like bust through the door like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah!
I was just like, alright, sure. If anything, this trailer made me less tense about the movie, and honestly, it kind of made me go, I almost want to see this now.
Yeah, because it doesn't look especially scary, just kind of
a little ridiculous.
Some things happen, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Not an awful lot of tension.
Yeah.
Except maybe the part at the very end, and only then because I'm worried about the little girl.
Oh yeah, I was just like, no, man, don't do that
her.
to the little girl. Yeah, for real.
Don't you do that. That's bad form. When does this one come out? I forget. I need to reacquaint myself. June 2nd. Okay. Alright then. I might try to go see that one.
Right.
If only so I can make fun of it later. We also got a trailer for Insidious the Red Door.
I don't know what this is.
Me neither. Apparently there are 4 other Insidiouses before then.
Yeah, I saw that. I did like a quick search on it. I was like, what is this? And it's like, there's 5 of these movies? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I might try to catch up on those and try to go see this one. I make no promises, because this also... Admittedly, part of it's I don't have context, but I feel like even with context, some of this would be aggressively silly.
Yeah.
Like that one Darth Maul looking ass. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Tell me that guy ain't just a spitting image of Ray Park.
I feel like this movie would be very infuriating for me. Just because, like, of all the bits, like, we've been keeping secrets from you, but it suppresses our memories. It's like, oh, I feel like I'm already gonna hate this.
Am I being gaslit? Is there secretly some kind of demonic dead boogeyman in my life?
Wouldn't it be something if there's, like, a gaslighting, like, monster movie or something like that?
I feel like that's gotta already exist.
Oh, wait. I mean, technically, if we're talking the Invisible Man.
Oh, yeah, that's a...
Then yeah,
the real monster there is people.
True.
Well, more specifically, the real monster there is an abusive boyfriend. So kind of like Renfield.
Right.
Took you a sec, huh?
Yeah, it did. But I don't know. I've definitely watched this. It's like, this doesn't look like a movie. This looks like a trailer for like a streaming miniseries.
Yeah, this feels like American Horror Story on its last legs.
Yeah, this one is definitely mid.
Especially that... Okay, one of the lines that sticks with me in the whole thing is, when you awaken the dead, the further you go, the more perilous it'll become. What does that even fucking mean?
What does it mean?
What does any of that mean?
Yeah, it's just like, that statement is like, okay, I like how this is a very intense statement that says absolutely nothing. It's like as if we're trying to make a scary moment created by ChatGPT.
You know what? That's a good way to put that. Honestly, this could kind of be a chat GPT of a trailer.
Mm.
Maybe it makes more sense with context, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm a big horror fan. Maybe I'll try to watch the Insidiouses. I watched 4 Evil Deads, what's 4 Insidii?
Have fun with that.
I will. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. How easy is it to stream these things? 1 sec. Maybe I'll go home and watch one while I'm editing. Fuck me, it's HBO Max!
No, it's Max.
Shit! Well, that's unfortunate. Am I gonna rent this? I'll rent it. I'll do that instead of giving Warner Brothers my money.
Fair enough.
Wait, is this Warner Brothers?
I don't think so.
No, it's Sony. Right, of course! It had to be Sony, because they've got that fucking obnoxious thing where it's like trailer starts now in front of the trailer. Every fucking Sony one does that. And you know what it's for? It's just so they can attach it to fucking everything. Like ads before YouTube videos or what have you, and still have that little snazzy bit. Instead of, having a separate trailer.
This is a total apropos from the current trailer discussion, but have you seen the one that they've been doing for The Flash?
No?
There's one that I've been seeing pop up over the last couple days, because I guess there's a new Flash trailer that's coming out tomorrow.
Oh yeah, CinemaCon's happening. We'll have to cover that next week.
And then, so yesterday I was getting ads on YouTube on my Xbox saying, Flash trailer on April 25th, in the same style as where it's trailer starts now.
Yeah.
I was just is this really how far we've fallen? Now
we're doing drawn out, protracted announcements for trailers. What is that?
Yeah, we're doing long-ass, dramatic, protracted announcements for the announcements.
Infuriating. So
yeah,
that also looks very middle of the road.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. Or at least I probably will.
Right.
And the last trailer isn't really much of a trailer, it's more of a title reveal, I guess?
Yeah.
And it's Godzilla X Kong, the new empire. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry, that's Godzilla 10 Kong.
Godzilla got 10 on Kong. 10 what? Don't matter.
No, they start getting in a fight, and then Dominic Toretto pulls up and goes, no, listen, your family.
Don't will it into existence, please.
I'm gonna.
The only thing I have seen that has made that joke work even halfway well was Shazam 2.
What, you don't like the Star Wars meme with nothing stronger than family?
No, I don't.
Oh, I see.
I mean, granted, I haven't seen the meme, but it already sounds insufferable.
So it looks like the villain for this movie is gonna be Lanky Kong, I guess? Just an uncomfortably long-limbed orangutan-looking thing.
Yeah.
That apparently killed Godzilla and Kong, and just threw their skulls into a bone pile.
Man, I really...
What?
I wasn't sure if Lanky Kong was... I forgot that Lanky Kong was an N64
Oh, you looked
character.
it up, huh?
Yes, I did. So I was like, wait, I don't remember there being a Lanky Kong in the Monsters universe. It's just oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but tell me that's not him.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I knew he was evil. All along.
I don't know. It looks interesting, but so do all the movies, all the monster movies, and then it usually ends up being focused around the people who are the worst part. So... I
mean, he has no style, he has no grace. This Kong has a funny face.
Fair.
He can handstand when he needs to. I forget how that section goes, so, I'm gonna just not. No, I really like the legendary the Legendary Entertainment Monster movies. I like the Monsterverse. Kong Skull Island was great. Godzilla 2014 was pretty damn good. King of the Monsters was really good, and Godzilla vs. Kong was a hell of a lot of fun.
I still haven't seen the first one.
You didn't see the 2014 one?
No, the Godzilla vs. Kong movie.
Oh, fuck, I gotta fix that.
Yeah, I think that was one of those ones where we were trying to plan for it, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, no, I gotta fix that then. I gotta show you that movie. That's a good movie.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything else about it.
Okay.
At least I think it was good. No, wait, I covered it on the MMAs. I forget what I gave it. Oh well. All the more reason to rewatch it. God, I hate that I watch so many things I can't remember what I thought of things.
Yeah, that's scary, dude.
Goldfish brain, man.
Fair.
It's what happens when you have to balance it with a 9 to 5.
I mean, I have a goldfish brain too, it just comes up in different ways.
Fair. Let's talk box office.
Alrighty.
So the question remains, did we see the highest grossing domestic movie of this weekend? And the answer is yes, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, oh, I thought you would have.
Or was it 2 weeks ago? Whenever Mario came out, however long ago that was.
Okay. Oh, it's been 2 weeks.
Okay, then it was Mario. Fuck. Sorry, I'm looking up a thing.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that pause and just a fuck.
Okay, so the Super Mario Bros. Movie took in $59.9 million domestically this weekend. It's currently sitting at a roughly $436 million domestic total and $875 million worldwide. Obviously, its streak as highest grossing movie of the year so far has not been interrupted yet. Might not be for a while, honestly.
Yeah, no.
If this hits $1 billion, I'm gonna freak the fuck out.
Yeah, if this hits $1 billion, that'll be insane.
Which means, it's gonna, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But still, that's just fucking crazy. Second place, Evil Dead Rise.
Okay.
Sitting at $24.5 million domestically this weekend and in total for a $42.4 million worldwide total. And that's against a $15 to $19 million budget, so it's actually already making some money back just on the first weekend alone, from the sound of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I think originally they were just going to chuck it on HBO Max.
I'm glad that they didn't, I suppose.
Yeah, no, that was a smart idea. Third place, I'm actually kind of surprised by this one. Third place is The Covenant.
Okay.
Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. So far, no worldwide release information. Apparently, internationally, it was released on Amazon Prime Video. So...
what?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
$6.3 million domestically this weekend. Against a $55 million budget.
Nope.
Doomed. Absolutely doomed. Better hope them Prime rentals are strong.
Oh, yeah.
Fourth place, we got John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay.
$5.8 million domestic weekend, currently sitting at $168.9 million domestically for a $358.5 million worldwide total. And fifth place, there seems to be a bit of a race here. It's not 100% clear based on the information I'm looking at. It's either Air Courting a Legend or it's Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves.
Okay.
Because one source I'm looking at says that Dungeons & Dragons... Air is consistent. Air made about $5.448 million. But one source I'm looking at says Dungeons & Dragons made 5.4, and another says 5.5. So, I'm just gonna split the difference and say they're both in fifth place.
It's a tie!
Yeah, hooray! Good job, guys! So, assuming Dungeons & Dragons is in fifth place, it's sitting at $82.2 million domestically for roughly $178 million worldwide. I think its budget was still like $150 mil, so...
Oof.
Yeah, that's not great. And then Air, assuming it has that $5.4 million total domestically, is sitting at $41.7 million domestically for a $68.8 million domestic total, but I believe its budget was also like $55 million or something.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that one was originally not going to release at all in theaters.
Oh.
One has to wonder, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, its budget was between 20 to 30 million.
Okay, as I say, that's a lot more reasonable.
Oh, no, wait. I'm getting different things from different places, alright?
We're getting mixed signals, and you haven't even taken the movies out on a date or something.
It's much worse than I thought, according to Wikipedia at least. Apparently the budget was 70 to 90.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, alright. Well, that's doomed. One has to wonder what they were going to do if they didn't release it in theaters.
Yeah, no.
Maybe that's why they released it in theaters. Budget went out of control, and it's like, nope, we gotta do it. I shouldn't speculate. I haven't seen the movie. For all I know, the movie... I've heard it's a good movie.
Yeah, same.
I just don't feel like I've got 2 hours to kill to watch Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and Jason Bateman talk about shoes. Unfortunately, that does mean the movie that we both saw this weekend, Chevalier, did not make the top 5. From what I could tell domestically this weekend, it was in 11th place.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I can see it, though, I guess, because it's not a very wide appeal movie.
No, not really.
Especially because even though it's the point of the movie, It is about somebody who historically isn't very well known.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Chevalier first, or should I talk about Evil Dead first, do you think?
I feel like Evil Dead would probably be better to talk about first.
Yeah, alright.
Like that one's probably the more interesting of the two.
Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an awful lot to say about Chevalier, I guess we might as well save it for last.
Okay.
So, I saw Evil Dead Rise, and it was, I have a note here, massively discomforting in all capital letters.
I am so glad I didn't see this movie.
No, you should be. It's very unpleasant. There's a lot of gore, there's some projectile vomiting, and they don't cut away from that either.
Oh, really?
No, it just happens, and they just linger on it.
Oh, okay.
There's some really stupid protagonist decisions in this.
As is horror movie tradition.
As is frustrating horror movie tradition, because you actually have characters saying, no, don't do that, do it anyway. Huh, what a thing. Actually, some very human stuff here, which I guess shouldn't be too surprising, because the Evil Dead movies do have some more, for as cartoony as they can get, they have some more very realistic reactions of people in these situations.
Okay.
No, this took a turn, because I sat through all 4 of the previous ones leading up to it. I shouldn't say sat through, because I had a decent time. But it was definitely a case of, the first one, pretty good. I remember that one decently terrifying as well. Second one gets funnier. Third one is almost just straight up a fucking comedy.
That's the boomstick one, right?
Yeah, that's This Is My Boomstick. Good, bad, I'm the guy with the gun. That sort of stuff.
Groovy.
Indeed it was. And then the fourth one just took a fucking turn in a Spooksville. Just an uncomfortable fucking absolute nightmare fest. Just facial mutilation and shit. It was just fucking unsettling. And this continues that fine tradition set by the fourth one. It is kinda hard to watch.
From what I've gathered, this movie, because I did spoil myself a little bit, because I did read up on like what people were saying about it. The takeaway I got is that compared to like other movies, especially other like contemporary horror movies, this movie has very little chill.
Oh yeah, but no, you know what? Actually, it takes a surprisingly long time to get going. It takes a bit after the opening scene for the actual killing and gore to start, so that's decently impressive.
Really?
Yeah, no, actually, it takes a while to actually develop some of the characters and at least get you to care about some of them. So that was neat. So, non-spoiler breakdown of the movie. One lady who is a guitar technician goes to visit her sister because she has found out she is pregnant and needs advice. Come to find out, her sister is in the middle of separating from her husband and also having to move out of their condemned to be demolished apartment building while raising 3 kids.
Oh, Jesus.
With no help from the dad.
Oh, Jesus.
And then the Book of the Dead gets involved. And things go horrifically wrong.
Oh, boy.
And I mean horrifically wrong. Oh, man. There was some stuff in here. The stuff that I was prepared for from the trailer, not terrible.
I'm guessing nothing compared to what's in the rest of the
movie. No, it was pretty uncomfortable, but I was braced for it, you know? Stuff like someone getting their scalp ripped off or get a cheese grater taken in the leg. Yeah, okay, I was prepped for that. But there's a few bits where it's like, no, you know, I was not really ready for that one. And it's hard to get into. Okay, I will say, without spoilers, I'm a little bit disappointed because this movie simultaneously goes harder than I was expecting, but I feel like it kind of chickens out at the end. A little bit. Not...
Oh, really?
Chickens out isn't the right word, but for something where a lot of things that I wasn't expecting to happen, there was one where I was like, okay, this is the logical conclusion, right? Nope, doesn't happen. And I'm not saying that's bad, but I am saying it's weird to me.
Do you think it's a thing of someone who's like putting the movie together and say like, hey guys, look, I know this is an Evil Dead movie, and that the whole point of this movie is to go hard as fuck when it comes to like the killing and the violence and the evilness, but you ever think maybe we were going a little too hard? Maybe we should like dial it back just a second so people can like not be like completely petrified.
We still need like, people to see this movie, guys. We still need people to see this movie.
We still need people to come into the movie. Do you think it was like one of those type of deals?
Yeah, I could see it maybe being a studio note. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could just be we can't go that far, not realizing that, yeah, maybe it could have. I'm not saying you should have.
Yeah.
But you could have.
You've already come this far. Why stop now?
Exactly. Mm. The supporting cast is awfully thin, but, I mean, to be fair, the real focus is on the family.
Mm-hmm.
There's some pretty decent action, and then there's one thing where I'd call it gratuitous fan service for people who have seen The Evil Dead, but I can't call it gratuitous, because if I hadn't seen The Evil Dead, I wouldn't have noticed or cared.
Right.
So, yeah, it's fan service, but it's... And not the sexy kind, either.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I imagine it's not anything that...
No, nothing in this movie is a sexy kind.
Okay, I was gonna say, I can't see there anything that in this movie that gets one's jimmies tented up.
If it does, no judgment, but maybe talk to somebody.
Yeah.
No shame.
Yes. No shame, everyone's got their thing, but probably should seek a professional.
A little bit.
Just a suggestion is like, I'm sure you're fine, there's other people who are into this. If you have friends who are into this, tell them to seek a professional with you. Just say.
Yeah, it's hard to get into spoilers of that. Or it's hard to talk about it without getting into spoilers. So I'm going to say, yeah, it's worth watching if you can handle gore.
I think I'm better with gore than the majority of other people that we regularly intersect with, but even in the trailer, it's like, yeah, I'm not seeing this.
No. But I also will say, I feel a little closer to the other Evil Deads than the fourth one, but only in the sense that there's maybe a little more comedy involved.
Right.
It doesn't lean as comedy horror as Evil Dead 2 or 3, for example. Well, I shouldn't say 3 because it's Army of Darkness.
Basically 3 is basically a parody from the bits I've seen.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I'd rate it somewhere between, like, the first one and the fourth one. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
I'm not about to rewatch all these again. Just to prove it. So, yeah, I'd say it's worth a watch. It's a good time if you can handle gore and some other disgusting stuff. Otherwise, no, absolutely not. If you have a weak constitution, do not see this movie. Not in the slightest. And if you don't want to get spoiled for Evil Dead Rise, make sure to click away. And click, if you want to hear our thoughts on Chevalier, click ahead to that part, because spoilers for Evil Dead Rise are coming in 3, 2, 1. So that lakeside cabin bit is actually the intro.
What, the bit where she's, like, floating over the water?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because that's an actually entirely different set of people.
Really?
Yeah, that's the intro, where the one girl gets her scalp ripped off, and... still uncomfortable as heck. And then it flashes back to one day earlier, so I spent the whole movie going, how is this gonna...
It's like, how's this supposed to work?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering the whole time. You end up finding out at the very end of the movie, because it turns out that the girl who got possessed at the start of the movie was actually a tenant of that apartment building, and got possessed by the lingering evil spirits or whatever, as she was leaving to go on that cabin trip. But, no, yeah, when Ellie, the sister with the kids, first gets possessed, she just starts fucking projectile vomiting all over the floor. Very disgusting. It's like a whole fucking pool. It's like somebody spilled an entire gallon of clam chowder.
Oh.
Disgusting.
Oh, no.
The middle child, I assume he's the middle child, Danny, he caught interminable dumb horror movie protag syndrome.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, so what happens is an earthquake, because they live in Los Angeles, you see. Or at least in California.
Right.
An earthquake ends up unearthing a secret vault in the basement of the apartment complex as the kids are coming back from getting pizza. And despite the threat of aftershocks or whatever, and his older sister, I assume older sister, I don't remember if Bridget or Danny is older, I just know Cass is the younger one. But Danny ends up going into the vault, finds this book with teeth and records, and decides, yeah, I'm gonna grab these because he's like some kind of music guy. He does a lot of remixing and stuff, and there's an MF Doom sticker on his setup, which was very funny, and I thought you'd appreciate it.
Oh god, now I'm conflicted. because it's like, I do appreciate that reference, but then it's also like, man, why does it have to be the dumbass that makes everything go to shit?
Yeah, so then he plays the record, and Bruce Campbell is a voiceover cameo as the priest who was like, I think we could use this book to eradicate evil, and I'm going to read from its passages. Turn the flip side. I made a terrible mistake. This is a very bad idea. I probably should have written down play this one first.
Okay.
But, I'm a fucking idiot. That's why I read from the Book of the Damned. And then his mom ends up getting possessed, and she becomes the first Deadite, and she kills a bunch of the neighbors.
Oh boy.
She actually bites one guy's eye out, and then spits it into another kid's mouth, and he chokes to death on it.
Oh my god!
And it was framed a little comedically.
Holy shit! That's insane.
And then she kills his younger brother, and we don't see how she does it, but we then see him fly into because you see it unfold through, like, the peephole of the apartment door, because they locked her out. And you see the kid go flying into a door corner, and he's missing his arms now.
Oh god.
Yeah, no, kids don't live through this. Well, except Cass, which is the part that, like, they killed Bridget and Danny, but then Cass lives, and I feel like, I'm not saying that's chickening out, but I am saying it would have been real shocking if you'd had a deadite little girl.
I mean, shit, it's like the fact that they killed kids in general. I feel like movies try to do everything they can to avoid showing that.
I was pleasantly surprised because I wrote down very early on, Danny deserves to die, so he probably won't.
Holy shit.
And it's actually kind of interesting because throughout the whole movie, Beth, the one who's pregnant and doesn't have kids currently, keeps making poor decisions.
Oh, she's the one with, like, the short bowl cut, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She keeps making poor and honestly kind of selfish decisions. For a good chunk of the movie. Like when Ellie first starts attacking, they lock the apartment door, she doesn't let anybody else in, and it gets them killed. Which, yeah, you know what? Relatable.
It's like, objectively shitty, but understandable.
Objectively shitty, but also objectively correct.
Yes.
But then, when she goes to check up on somebody else, she ends up leaving two of the kids by themselves. The younger one and somebody else. I don't remember exactly what happens, but it does result in the younger one getting attacked. Right, because Bridget ends up getting turned because she got a scratch or a bite or something from her mom, and she ends up just barfing out a bunch of, like, worms or something?
Oh, God.
And it was pretty fucking dark, because she's the one who ends up eating glass, and the Deadite possessed her is like, I need to get rid of the thing in my tummy.
Oh, no.
Just taunting her aunt, which is really fucking, that part was good and unsettling. Also, Cass is weird. She cuts the head off a doll and puts it on a stick and calls it Staffney.
Wait, no, you say that she's weird. This is the best little girl.
And she ends up accidentally impaling her Deadite-possessed older sister through the mouth with it.
This sounds like the best little girl in the movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she was like, Staffney will protect us. And then when that happened, I just thought, and protect them Staffney did! I'm a little confused as to how the Deadites work in this, because it seems like you can get infected from scratches or what have you, but at one point, Beth and Cassie both get absolutely fucking soaked in blood. And I assume they have to have at least gotten some of it in their mouth or in, like, an open wound or something, but neither of them turn.
I take it that's like the Shining scene from the trailer.
Yeah, that's the Shining bit. But you actually get to see the elevator filling up with blood.
Oh, shit.
It was very uncomfortable.
Ooh.
Oh, and then at the very end of the movie, several of the Deadites end up actually flesh merging into some kind of unholy abomination.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, this movie hasn't had enough nightmare fuel.
No,
why don't we have a grand finale?
Yeah, it's the mom and the two kids who are Deadites end up merging into some weird flesh monstrosity.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was horrible.
That's God almighty.
They end up getting hacked with a wood chipper and a chainsaw. Which is the almost gratuitous moment, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, I only noticed because I've watched the Evil Dead movies, and I know Ash has a chainsaw for a hand, and...
Yeah, as I say, like, it seems like chainsaws are a staple for this series.
Yeah. Also a shotgun. There's a shotgun in this movie. Doesn't do anybody a whole lot of good, though.
Oh, is it like a double-barreled shotgun, at least?
I think it was, yes.
Okay, then it's at least a proper callback, even if it's useless.
You also really feel that you have to bend over backwards to justify how they end up in this position. Because you get stuff like, oh, the complex is scheduled for demolition, so, it's already shitty, and the electricity goes out easy, and the stairs all collapse when an earthquake happens. And also, network reception is really shitty, and it's raining outside, and the only way out in the fire escape is through a locked door, I guess, somehow. Because it's a shitty fucking building.
Why are there people living in this building?
Presumably because rent's cheap. So yeah, that takes some bending over backwards and some hoop jumping.
Right.
Yeah, I think that about sums this up. It takes some hoop jumping and some dumb horror movie protagonistosity, but it's still a good time, if you're into that. Which I don't know that I am, but oh boy.
I will say your description has kind of made me go, okay, I'm now significantly more interested in seeing this, but still not nearly enough for me to actually sit down and watch it.
Fair enough.
Does this sound a lot more interesting? Yes. Am I actually going to watch it? Fuck no.
Let's talk Chevalier.
Let's talk Chevalier. Do you want me to give the description on this, or at least attempt to?
Yeah, if you feel like it.
Okay, cool. So I will attempt to. So the story of the Chevalier. The movie's a historical drama based on the life of Joseph. I'm gonna butcher this man's last name. Joseph Bologna.
I think it's Bolognese.
Bolognese. That sounds about right. Anyway,
I'm just going off of Bolognese. But I think that's Italian?
Well, yeah, I think that's more Italian than anything else. But anyway, basically he is a French-Caribbean violinist, and the movie is a very, if we're being completely honest, very Hollywood retelling of, like, his life, his time, showing his prowess as a talented violinist and composer, and becoming infamous in the French, like, celebrity circle, and regularly, like, having fun times with the highest ends of French social life, including one very adorable Marie Antoinette. But during the entire time that this is happening, the beginnings of the French Revolution are also happening around him. People are protesting in the street and and that's also a major part of the movie, because his life and the history of the French Revolution, if we're being honest, kind of accidentally coincide with one another. So yeah, but that's like the general description of the movie, I would say. I enjoyed this. It's interesting when this movie was announced, because it was like, okay, this is very much a me movie, but I have no idea who the hell this guy is.
Same, and I also had no idea what a Chevalier was, and I still didn't until after the movie. So, when they make a whole big deal about it, I just thought to myself, boy, this would probably be a lot more impactful if I'd bothered to look up what a Chevalier was before I watched this.
Right. I don't know, it's one of those weird things where I like this movie. I liked it quite a bit. It's a combination of, I don't feel like there's not a lot to talk about without spoiling pretty decent parts, because it is just like a retelling of his life. There's no like real major overarching plot, at least for the most part. It's just a retelling of like his life, his time trying to really establish himself in the musical and social circle of Paris, while also with him being French Caribbean, balancing with, being a black person in France in the 1700s, because France is, well, the entire world at this time, still not crazy about black people.
I'd say there's a bit of a plot.
Yeah, they're fair.
The plot is basically him getting involved in the revolution, or getting to the point where he decides to take a stand.
Okay, you know what, that's fair. It was one of those things where it's like, I did kind of want to talk about that, but I wasn't sure how much of that is spoilery.
It's a historical drama, I feel like the details of the movie are more important than the overall picture.
Fair.
Is how I'd put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know what else to talk about.
There are some aggressively sad moments.
There are a lot of, okay, yes, that is definitely something to talk about. There are some very aggressively sad moments, because the thing about this is that because of his upbringing and all that, I mean, I feel like this is fair to talk about since he since this is a historical drama. This man is a bastard child.
Right.
Specifically,
in the literal sense, not in the...
Yeah, no, in the actual...
He's a smarmy bastard, but he's...
He is a very smarmy bastard, and it's very entertaining in its own right. But no, he's literally, like, his mom's black actually was a slave, and his father, it was his mom's slave master. I think it doesn't take a lot of creativity to kind of put two and two together there.
You know what? Smarmy wasn't the right word.
Because
Smarmy is, like, overly flattering, and he's not really one to flatter other people so much as he is to, emphasize his own ability.
He does indeed believe that he is the big shit.
And I mean, he can back it up pretty much.
Yeah, he regularly backs up that he is to be the big shit, but he does very much believe that he is the big shit.
Very good at the humble brag.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is. I will say, I guess talking more about the actual movie aspect, everyone in this I very much enjoyed, even the people who were like moderately insufferable.
Oh yeah, like Marie Antoinette.
Lucy Boynton, I apologize if I got your last name right. She does a really great job of being like...
You apologize if you got it right.
Oh, did I get it right?
No, you said I apologize if I got it right.
If I got it wrong, sorry. She does a really good job of kind of doing this thing with Marie Antoinette where she is very airheaded and ditzy, but also like kind of cute until the moments in the end of the movie where she stops being cute.
And just turns into off with her head.
Yeah, which is, although it's moderately unfortunate because, well, I'm not very familiar with the overall story of Marie Antoinette. This portion of world history is one of my weaker subjects, especially anything to do with the French Revolution, if I'm being completely honest. But when that bit happens, I'm just like, sweetie, I can't take you seriously. I'm sorry.
Samara Weaving's really good as Marie Josephine.
Oh, yes.
And of course,
very much.
Kelvin Harrison Jr. also does a great job as the Chevalier, carrying himself as a man who is definitely a confident, boring, arrogant sort, but it's because he's got something to prove, and you can see the pain behind it.
Yeah, and it's also thinking like he constantly has something to prove because the moment that he doesn't, it all falls apart.
No one may tear down an excellent Frenchman.
Which, that is a line that I appreciated quite a bit, because something that France, both historically and while less of a degree it's still there contemporarily, something that France kind of struggles with is when someone is and isn't French. I remember this getting brought up when they entered the World Cup several years ago. Actually, what the reason why I know about this is because apparently a member of the French government actually got very pissed off at Trevor Noah, of all people, because during like a taping of The Daily Show, Trevor Noah mentioned how the guys on the French soccer team who won them the World Cup were all of African descent, and how them being African doesn't get brought up. And he actually got a very angry letter from a member of the French government talking about how, like, when they won, they were French.
Alright.
Yeah, and it's like, it's the thing of like, okay, I think I can get what they're saying, but it's like, it can be both. But yeah, basically France has historically had this issue of, if someone's doing something great for the country or really good,
then they're French.
In the name of France, that they're French. At the moment that it's no longer needed or it's not as beneficial as it once was, them being French is not as important anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that when they won that game, they were French. I feel like that would mean more if it came from the players rather than the French government.
Like that was the point being communicated. And
if the players said, no, when we won this, we're French. That's what matters. And then the government backed them up, that would be one thing. But having the government go, no, they're French. It's just like, all right, settle down, Jean-Paul.
Yeah, and that was one of those things. I don't know if the movie did it on purpose, but if that's what they were going for, I think they did a very good job. Because that has historically been something that France, from in a social aspect, has not been great with.
Yeah.
So I like that line a lot. And it very much, even though it's just one line, it just solidifies everything about how Joseph has to solidify who he is as a person, as an artist, as like a prodigy, what have you. Because, they, at this point in history especially, France really, really, really cares about its about its place on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, it is, like, a major superpower, and they do not want even the slightest thing to disrupt that. What are your, like, non-spoilery thoughts?
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there were some cryable moments in it, but it was also, it honestly felt a little tame almost. Like, but I shouldn't say tame, but from a movie standpoint, you know? Because, I mean, a lot of the dialogue is hard to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the sense of hard to understand, but in the sense of some of the racist shit coming out of these people's mouths is fucking infuriating.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that in the theater, like, no one was, like, being a dick or anything in the theater, but in the theater, when some of that stuff would be said, like, some of the people that were, like, off to our side were just like, I'm just like, and they're just like, and I'm just like, yeah, man.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like, I'm just sitting there like, yeah, that's kind of how it was.
First time?
Yeah, for real. I'm just, like, completely, like, not affected in the slightest, because I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to say used to it, but that's what I expected.
So you know what? Actually, I'd say the way they handled it actually works to the movie's credit, because it's like, yeah, that was just fucking normal.
Mm-hmm.
That's just fucking how things went. That's disgusting.
Yeah, no, it is. There's really not a great way to say this, but if there's a
White
anything
people.
that's like, yeah.
Am I right?
There's not really a great way to say this, but whether it be a game, a movie, or a show or whatever, if one thing that gets a weird level of appreciation for me is that if it's like taking place in a period where human rights were not universal, and arguably they still aren't, and it was like a particular time where there was a noticeable lack of human rights for a certain section of the populace because of what they looked like, and the piece of media makes it feel totally normal, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because when you stop and think about it, you realize how good a job they did of normalizing it and be like, oh, this is how it was, wasn't it? It's like, yeah.
Okay, you know one thing I was surprised by? In general, and I'm not a big classical music fan, so this might be a failing of my part, except for moments where he's playing directly to show somebody up, the music didn't really stand out that much to me.
Yeah, it didn't. I felt like it's one of those weird things where for a movie about a famous musician, there's not a lot of music, but at the same time, I felt like the bits where there are music are used for when it's more noticeable and more hard to ignore. It is for a very important reason.
Yeah. Like
one bit towards the end that like kind of sets up the final act of the movie. When that really starts ramping up, it's like, oh, okay, here we go. And it's one of those weird things where I don't know if I like that or hate that. Like, it's used really well, but it is like, you know, for a movie about a famous musician, kind of figured to be more music overall. Yeah, that was a little surprising. I was kind of expecting more... I guess I was expecting it to be more spectacular. Bold, if you will. Some very quotable lines in this movie, though. Very quotable lines. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of the one, but I feel like that one's a spoiler. We should probably save that one. Oh, yes. No, I like this, and I hate to say it about a movie where the whole point is that it's about a musician who didn't get the respect that they deserved or the historical coverage they deserved because of fucking bullshit, and are only just now kind of being better known. It does kind of suck that the movie doesn't feel like it does an awful lot to distinguish itself from... I don't know how you would, though, I guess, so that's not really a fair criticism, I suppose. Because, like, if you're depicting it relatively accurately but filtered through a Hollywood lens, there's only so much you can do, so... Yeah. Without Hamiltoning it up, and God knows I don't want them to do that, so... Not that I have a problem with Hamilton, but, you know, not everything needs to be Hamilton. Yeah, exactly. So it's fine. It's a fine movie. Yeah, it's... I'd watch it again. Yeah, if you're really into, like, especially, like, very niche and obscure historical dramas, this is a high-quality one. But it is for, like, kind of the general moviegoer, I think it's good. You might not like it, because it is a very niche type of thing. A little dry, a little uncomfortable. Yeah. And also just the general basic major driving forces of all that's happening, because it's about an unknown... I'm not trying to make this bit, like, belittle the movie, but it's about a relatively unknown French violinist / composer in the 1700s, leading up to the French Revolution. And all of those bullet points are just niche as hell, niche as hell, niche as hell, niche as hell.
Yeah. Especially, you know what, that part's a spoiler, so I'm gonna not say it.
But yeah, like, otherwise I would say it's worth seeing.
Shall we go into spoilers then?
Sure.
Alright. If you don't want to be spoiled on Chevalier, make sure to click away, because we're getting into spoilers in 3, 2, 1. I know it's not really the point, but I feel like the fact that they don't actually go into the revolution is kind of a weak point. To be fair, I don't know if he was really involved in the revolution itself all that much, or to what extent, but...
He was. I unfortunately don't... And this is actually the thing that I regret not doing more reading into. He did actually command a battalion during the French Revolution.
Oh.
But at some point, something happened during the Revolution where he was stripped of his military rank.
Huh.
And then, like, not too long after that, he died in 1799. So
that sucks.
Yeah, but he was leader of a battalion during the Revolution. I want to say the movie, like, because at the end of the movie it shows, it's like, yeah, he led an all-black battalion during the Revolution, and he was quite noteworthy for that.
Right, and then Napoleon happened.
And reinstituted slavery.
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah, and it's just, you know what, that's the funny bit. That's actually, like, one of the funnier bits of this movie for me, because it's like, as the movie's going on, it's like, why hasn't anyone heard about this movie? And in a bit of a text at the end, it just says, when Napoleon came back to power, he reinstituted slavery and had Chevalier's music and all that banned. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. That tracks.
That's probably why the movie ends where it does, because it ends on kind of a high note for him.
Yeah.
Or maybe not a high note, but at least a moment of vindictive triumph. Not even vindictive. I mean, well earned.
Would you say it was like a C or a B note?
I'd say a B note. I'd call it a B sharp.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. I'm no Chevalier.
I mean, I don't even know if that was the musical note. I just really wanted to make that joke.
I'm not even a Mozart. Okay, you know what? A little bit of minus points for this movie. Starting in the middle with an inherently interesting thing, and then flashing back. It's like, bruh, we're already here. Just
keep it going.
Just start at the start, man.
Yeah. I will say, it was kind of funny seeing Mozart use the movie's soul F-bomb.
Who the fuck was that?
It's like, that is kind of funny coming from Mozart.
Yeah. No, he was a foul-mouthed individual.
If I remember correctly, didn't Mozart write a song about telling, like, a priest or whatever to lick his ass?
I think he did.
So, yes, he did.
Yep.
Which is still one of my favorite classical songs.
I'll give them credit. The relationship with Marie Josephine and how that all falls apart, and the attempt to get her back only for it to, spiral out and realizing that they're different people, essentially, and that it's not going to work. The middle section should have infuriated me more than it did. But it didn't. The part where he's trying to get her back while she's pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this is dumb and you shouldn't be doing this, but also I get it.
I mean, it's one of those things where I get it, but it did infuriate me a little bit, because, like, during the bits where she's, like, more or less pretending not to know him, and he's like, no, you know who I am. And he's like, bruh, she's trying to stop you from getting killed. Like, this woman is actively trying to save your life. From her, like, crazy-ass, war-mongering husband.
What another jerk. Boy, yeah, okay, no. And that leads to the part where it turns out she's having his baby, as in Joseph's baby, the Chevalier's baby. And then her husband kills the baby, apparently. Off-screen. You don't see it. You don't hear it.
Yeah.
You just get the secondhand news of it. And it crushes him, as it rightly should.
Oh, yeah.
And I respect this movie, because not enough movies have uncontrollable man-weeping in them.
No, they do not.
And this one did.
Yeah, and it's very earned.
I respect it. It did make me cry, the part where they're saying goodbye to each other, and she says he was beautiful, our son. That made me cry a little bit. But the bit with him weeping for this loss and the realization of what it means to be of his standing in France, basically.
Oh, yeah.
is, yeah, that's awful. And I respect the movie for giving us that grief.
Yeah.
And not trying to, stoicize it. So that was nice. In a terrible way.
Another thing that was nice, but for different reasons, is that for a movie that is, like, extremely, like, serious and very straight-laced for the most part, there's, like, one actual joke, and it's very well done.
There's a couple of jokes in it. It's just a little more dry and a little more subtle. But there is the one knockout, drag-down joke of... So, what ends up happening is there's this one opera actress who basically propositioned him to sleep with her, and he didn't. And she
Marie Magdalene Guimard, by the way.
Guimard?
Yeah, the historical figure that is, not the actress.
And she ends up backing his opponent, who's in the running, to be the head of the Paris Opera. It was the Paris Opera, right? Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
And she ends up petitioning the board, the committee, and Marie Antoinette to reject his nomination, rather. Basing it on a bunch of just absolutely racist things. Just some horrible dialogue.
Yeah.
And Marie ends up having to go along with it because she's got too many enemies and can't afford to make more. Yada yada yada, it's all politics, and also, fuck the monarchy. But he ends up getting drunk afterward at a social engagement and calls them all out, especially Marie Antoinette for being a fair weather friend, basically. And then turns to Guimard and goes, all this because I wouldn't sleep with you. That is not what this is about. Turns to the guy who ended up being given the position, would he sleep with you? And the guy just goes, what a foul suggestion. And then Chevalier just repeats it, what a foul suggestion. You're disgusting. It was very funny.
It was very good.
That one had me rolling.
Yeah. I felt like someone was like, okay, we get one good joke with this movie. It has to be well used, guys.
And there's some other good ones, like, they're not really jokes, but again, it's more like dry moments where when Joseph, Marie, and his friend Philippe end up attending that first meeting of, I guess, what's going to become the revolution, or what is kind of the revolution, and they're talking about equality of man and what have you, and Marie ends up stepping up, going, what do you think of women? Would they have equality in this scenario? Because it's a undercurrent with her, well, not an undercurrent, it's an overcurrent, it's just an explicit woven into the text, that she got married off to her wackadoo warmongering husband and doesn't love him. And the guy just goes, the idea that women are inferior to men was created by a man, but I was created by a woman, so there my loyalty lies. It's just like, based. Good take, bruh. Nice work.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yes,
and also nice. So. Well put, well worded, schmoove. I don't remember what made me write down anti-based, but...
oh god.
It was something racist, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was... Man, because I remember us both, like, kind of, like, making a quick joke about it when it happened.
Because it must have been not long after that.
I think it wasn't it a thing... No, because we already met the warmongering husband at that point.
Maybe it was after he got turned down for the position in the first place. I don't remember. Anyways.
Yeah, pretty much. I will say the final third of the movie is fantastic.
Yeah, where he decides to put on a concert that's going to... Most of the proceeds will go to help feed people who need it, and the rest will go to funding the revolution, and just straight up puts up posters.
Oh, yeah.
Does the concert in total defiance of Marie Antoinette, who says, if you step on stage and start playing, we'll have you arrested.
And then, like, her guards show up, being led by a warmongering husband, and literally holds a gun to his head, and he's just like, what?
Yeah. And meanwhile, the whole crowd who came out to see the show is shouting for them not to do it. And you can tell he's like, oh, fuck, I can't fucking win here.
Yeah, no, because, like, if I shoot him, all of these people are gonna gang up on me.
So he lets him go, and he just strolls out. It was really good. And this is one of those ones where him not being super historically well known actually works very well to the movie's advantage, because having looked up nothing about the man beforehand, I'm like, I give it 50-50 he gets fucking shot. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where his story ends.
The tension of the final third is very well done.
Yeah, it's definitely where it helps to do this about a lesser-known historical figure, even if the reasons for him being lesser-known are horrible and terrible and bullshit, but...
Yes.
No, it definitely helps in terms of making a movie, because it helps keep that tension, because it's not like when you make a movie about Elton John, and then partway through he starts having an overdose, and you play it up real tense, and it's like, oh, I wonder if he fucking dies! I say even though Rocket Man was a damn good movie, and I love it. But the sentiment's still there. It's like, oh gee, I wonder if he's gonna make it.
Yeah.
And survive to be in Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
A cameo with a great blink if you blink and you'll miss it joke from him as well.
Good times. Got anything else you think?
I don't think so. Other than like the movie a lot.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. And this is one where I definitely wouldn't call it one of my favorites of the year. And yet, I'm probably more likely to rewatch it than I am some of my favorites, weirdly enough.
I would definitely say, of all things in all considerable subjects, this is the most pleasant surprise so far.
Yeah. Or at least, it's I don't know if pleasantly surprised, because I wasn't expecting bad things. I expected a decent movie, and I got a pretty decent movie, so...
Fair.
I don't know if I call it a pleasant surprise, but it was definitely a good time. In as much as you can have a good time listening to a bunch of uptight French assholes spew racist bullshit.
Yes.
That's not all of them, though.
Oh, no. No.
So next week, it might be another double feature situation, because on the one hand, you've got Big George Foreman and Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, neither of which are particularly catching my interest. But Sisu also comes out, and then Polite Society is also out, so...
I mean, I'm probably gonna go see Sisu.
Fair, I might join for that one, time permitting, but I'm also probably gonna go see Polite Society, because that looks kinda bonkers. And I want to find out what its deal is.
Fair.
In any case, thanks so much for listening, everybody. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Spotify, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you want to do. Feel free to do none of it. You don't owe me anything.
Right.
But I sure would appreciate it.
Indeed. I'm sorry.
Another long pause for editing, Cody.
I was to say, I wasn't sure if you were going to say something else there.
Nope, that was it for me. So this has been Under the Bridge with Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And with Greg, aka Greg.
And we'll catch you guys next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.